Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention?
I am that dude, Bodkins. Patty to patty. That's ridiculous. No way. There's nobody else out there. He's your guy. Give a big round of applause for the one and only BodkinShow. I'm going to repeat that again, folks. I didn't stutter. Welcome to the Bodkins Show.
Good morning, everybody. It is another great episode of the Bodkin Show. This is our Wednesday weekly wrap-up. That's right, we're back on Wednesdays. I know I was on Thursday last week, but, you know, our time slot's usually here on Wednesday mornings. Got around, ready to do this thing. Let's see. Ready to go. Hope everybody's having a great week so far. Couple of house cleaning things. Make sure you come check us out tonight, 8:30 Central Time Zone for our NFL Week 5 preview show. If you missed it on Sunday, we did our NFL Week 4 reaction show, so please check that out as well. Monday was full of Buffoon and Bodkins on Monday Night Football. My fantasy team got its first big win. So, hey, we are now 1-3, looking to turn it around. You know, let's get to 2-3. Sounds a lot better than 1-4 this week. So, and we'll talk a lot about 1-4s and 2s and 3s, 2 and 3. Tonight on our Monday night, our NFL preview show. Make sure you guys are always sharing. Click the link, subscribe, share. I need to put the link out for the T-shirts again. So we'll do that. I'll make sure I try to get that put out tonight for the T-shirts. If anybody wants to order a Podkins Show T-shirt, we're also got a Head Kicks and Haymakers shirt that's going to be coming out as well. So look forward to that. In the near future, hopefully in the near future, some things are. T-shirt lady's a little busy, but she's working on some things for us. So shout out to Alyssa. All right, let's get into it, man. My college football picks, not so bad last week. Not so bad as we flip the page here. Turn back to last week. So Kentucky did. They ended up losing. It was Kentucky and Ole Miss. Ole Miss wins the game, but like I said, give me Kentucky at +7, and Kentucky covered. So that was a dub. I mean, Bama, Arkansas, it was set +17 for Bama was 17-point favorites. They covered that in a huge way, which I said they would. And then number 9, Oklahoma State versus number 16, Baylor. I took OK State +2. That was a dub. Then we get to the later games. This is where it kind of went. So I was 3-0. It was nice. Florida State loses to Wake Forest just outright. And then NC State loses to Clemson. I had NC State +6.5. Clemson covers. So they win that game by 10. So 3-5 on the weekend of the big college games. Not too bad. Let's get into this week. Another slate of good college games here. So number 8, Tennessee. This is probably my favorite game of the week. Number 8, Tennessee going to LSU. Tennessee's favored at -3. Give me LSU +3. If that game was in Tennessee, I'd probably take Tennessee, but something about going to Death Valley and LSU and that crew. I'm gonna take LSU +3 there. Then how about this? Did y'all know Kansas Jayhawks have a football team? I didn't. I mean, at least not worth noting about. I recently learned that due to Tanner on the Buffoon and Bodkins that they had a football team, and even more importantly, College Game Day is going to be there this Saturday in Lawrence, Kansas. I mean, College Game Day can never even find the place. So, I mean, I don't even know if they know where the football field is. Most people don't even know where the football field is. Most people didn't even know they had a football team, including myself. Who knew? Anyway, It's 17 TCU coming off a big win, taking on number 19 Kansas. Kansas, the underdog here at or at +7. Give me Kansas. I'm taking the Jayhawks +7. Lock it in. They got hammer it down. They got college game day is going to be there. It'll be their best crowd they've ever had. So give me the Jayhawks here +7 with the Jayhawks. Then we get into another game later game. That's Utah and UCLA. Number 11 Utah versus going to number 18 UCLA. UCLA, the dog here, getting the points at 4.5. I'm gonna take the Bruins, baby. Another basketball school gonna get it done here at the Bruins +4.5. Hammer it down, baby. Lane doesn't send Les Miles talent. They don't even have Les Miles. Ain't even the coach anymore at Kansas. Kansas will be back to normal soon. Landis, Les Miles not there. He got fired, and they brought in this new guy, and that's who's turning this program around. Not Les Miles. Les Miles got fired. Remember, they would always Kansas would bring in. They brought in Les Miles for a while. Didn't work out. Who else? Old coach Charlie Weiss. They said he was falling asleep he was falling asleep in team meetings. That's real. That's a way to set an example, Charlie. So we're not going to talk a whole lot of the NFL. I don't really like to talk the NFL on these shows because I do talk about it on Sunday night, and then I want you to come in and tune in on Wednesday. So we won't even really get into the NFL because we'll cover a lot of things tonight. There really wasn't a whole lot to talk about. I mean, there is a lot to talk about, and we'll get into that tonight. But I'm not going to spend all my time here talking about the NFL because we're going to put an hour and a half show tonight, or probably an hour plus show at least, we know, tonight. So make sure, again, you're tuning in to that. That'll be happening at 8:30 Central Time Zone. Also, let's talk about this NBA here as the preseason gets started. Before I get into something here, so the Lakers, it's reported that the Lakers were like real close to trading Russ to the Pacers. It was going to be Russ to the Pacers and 2 first-round picks. And then they would have got Buddy Hield and Miles Turner back. Now, it's reported that Rob Pelinka just wants to see how the team will mesh. I don't think Russ finishes I think he starts the season as a Laker, but he won't finish the season as a Laker. They may revisit that trade if things go south for the Lakers here at the beginning of the season. Now let's get into something else. I'm tired of this. You know what? Fuck it. We're gonna fucking cuss here today because this shit pisses me off here. When I see this all this NBA news, and the one that really bothered me was like, Ben Simmons is back. He dunked the basketball. His first 2 points in 2 years. He's not back. He's not back. He's not. Okay, it's the preseason. It don't mean dick. Okay, the 0-16 Lions. Remember when the Lions were 0-16? Guess what they did in the preseason? They were 4-0. The preseason don't mean dick. And we've seen Ben Simmons dunk a basketball, folks. Let me know when Ben Simmons hits like 3 threes in a row. Then I'll be like, holy shit, his game has changed. He's a new guy. He's a guy. He's the guy that we all thought he was going to be when they drafted him number 1 overall. Get out of here with this bullshit ass wannabe headlines of this person's back. This person is, going to, is coming on. No, until it's proven in the regular season. And for some of these guys, I'm looking at you, James Harden. It's got to be proven in the postseason. All right. Don't give me these fake ass headlines of this person did this in the preseason. Nobody gives a flying fuck. It's preseason. All right. Really, the NBA shouldn't even be started till goddamn Christmas Day. All right. Get out of here, NBA. And starting in October. Start Christmas Day. Start your season Christmas Day and you end in June because that's when everybody, and then this is how you watch the NBA. If you're not covering a fan, and NBA, if you're watching, you want me to cover a team, I'll cover a team and I'll watch every goddamn game if you're going to pay me. But here's the thing. This is when you watch the NBA. Christmas Day, Then you just kind of glance at the standings, check back in around the All-Star game, check trade deadline, catch the last month of the season because 16 teams or the 30 teams get in anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Well, now even more because they have the little stupid, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, playoff bubble crap with 3 more teams. And so, yeah, that's, I mean, come on. What are we doing? And then you watch that, and then you watch the playoffs, and then after that, you don't need to watch, and then you watch the playoffs and the NBA finals, and then you catch it the season about a month after with the draft and all the free agency and trades. You're good to go. That's how you monitorize the NBA. Instead, they want to start in October, and you got NBA headlines telling me Ben Simmons is back. His first 2 points. Those points don't even count. Ben Simmons gets hurt, and I don't hope he doesn't or anything, but those points don't count. He's not back until he scores some buckets in the regular season. He's not even really there until he freaking scores a couple threes to show us, hey, he's been working on his game and he really wants to play. Get out of here. Get out of here, NBA, with that nonsense. Bleacher Report, ESPNZ. There's no, I mean, get out of here. Come on. It's preseason. It don't matter. All right. Let's get into some baseball who's their season finally is wrapped up. First, before we talk postseason, we got to talk regular season. Aaron Judge, the Judge did it, hit 62 last night. Glad he got to it, got over the hump. Because, I mean, remember, he hit 60 with 15 games to go. I never thought he was going to break Bonds' record, but I thought maybe he'd get hit. I mean, 15 games, he could have hit, 5-6 home runs in that point. So, 65, 66. Instead, hit 62, breaking the American League record breaks Roger Maris's American League record. And I've seen some people on Twitter. Y'all are idiots. Oh, don't miss me with this fake baseball record. It's not the record. Nobody's saying it's the record. Every national broadcast is trying to tell you that Barry Bonds is the record holder. He broke the American League record holder. More importantly, he almost won the Triple Crown, finished second in the American League batting average. Bonds, Sosa, McGuire didn't do that stuff, you guys. Aaron Judge put together one of the greatest, maybe the greatest baseball years in all of baseball. All right? He finished second in batting average, finished first in home runs and RBIs. The next guy in the American League hit 30 home runs. He finished 30 home runs over the next guy. And everybody's trying to trash him because ESPN was showing 62. I get, that it was maybe a little overdone, but they did the same thing with Bonds, Sosa, McGuire. So I don't want to hear about it. It's just part of the normal. All right. And we know this record's clean. We think, right? You can't say the same thing about those other 3 guys. I mean, it is what it is because I believe all those guys were juiced at the time, but give it to Judge, man. I'm not saying he's the record holder, but he's the American League record holder. And what he did was just absolutely incredible. Landis chiming in here. And he gambled on himself. Pay him now. Yeah, pay that man his money. I've been saying that. And speaking of that, let me see how there was a question I had answered on a Facebook post or something. It was how much money is he going to get? I'm not too sure. How much money he's going to get. I wanted to see something first because I can't remember how old he is. So he's 30 years old. That's the problem there. I don't think he'll get a 10-year contract because he's playing into his 40s. You're looking at a 6-year contract. I mean, what's the money on a 6-year contract? He'd be 36 when that year ends. Retire wherever he goes. That's his last contract. So expect it to be big. I still think it's $500 million. I mean, the problem is, are you going to sign a guy for 6 years, $500 million? Ooh, I don't know. It'll be one of the biggest contracts we've seen. We'll see what happens. I mean, now that every team has a DH, he could play into, past 36. You're looking at 38, 8 years. 8 years, 450 million, 550 million. Landez is saying 6 years, 200. He'll clear more than 275. He'll clear at least 300. It'll be 400. At the minimum, it starts out negotiations at 400 million. I can't remember what the Yankees offered him, but he said, "You can go F yourselves, Yankees." And that's, and he bet on himself. And now he's going to be a free agent. Look at them. I mean, there's going to be teams that are going to overpay for him. The Mets, probably the Dodgers, maybe my Cubs, the Angels. Who else? I don't know if the Angels, because they're trying to sell the team and they just cut a 1-year deal with Shohei Ohtani, and they might try to save up for him, but you just never know. So we'll see what happens with Judge in the offseason, but that's in the future, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But right now, we got to talk about Landez is chiming here. The Giants. I don't know about the Giants. That's not really their MO. When was the last time the Giants paid big money for somebody? I'm looking at these teams that pay a lot of money. The Boston, these teams that do pay a lot of guys, those big market teams that pay a lot of money. The Yankees, he can go right back to the Yankees. We'll see. We'll see how fractured that relationship is. Let's go ahead and get into the postseason matchup here. So the Braves also clinched last night. They are now that's the 5 straight division titles. At one time, they were 10 back. Usually, when I was a kid, my dad used to tell me, "You get 10 back, season's over." Well, Daddy was wrong on that one, man. This time, Braves fought all the way from 10 back, win the division, clinch. So, good for the Braves. Now they get the first round bye. So this is, if you missed it, ex-professional baseball player Jonathan Grisham was telling us, because I was confused on how things worked. I hadn't really quite looked into it yet, how this postseason. So that there's 3 wild card teams, and then that third, the worst divisional team will play a wild card team, and best of 2 out of 3, and all those games will be played at the higher seeds stadium. So then the top 2 seeds get like a week off. That'll be interesting to see how those teams handle it. The Yankees and Astros get a bye. Dodgers, Braves get a bye in that first week. So they'll be awaiting the winners on some teams here. So let's get into the matchups here, though. So you got Tampa Bay Rays headed to I wrote the Indians, but it's the Guardians. The Guardians in that matchup. I mean, this is a tough matchup. The Guardians are flying under the radar, folks. A lot of people aren't talking about them. They were one of the better second half teams. The Rays have really struggled. They're 2-8 in their last 10. Survived to get into the playoffs. I remember they were like the number 1 wild card team for a long time. And because of this latest slide, fell all the way down. And, like I mentioned, they're 2-10. They lost their last 2-8 in their last 10, lost their last 4. So where the Guardians have won, they won the regular season, beating them 4-2. So in the 6 games they played, the Guardians won 4. So now they're playing each other here. When's the first game here? Looks like first game's Friday. On Friday, all 4 games will be played, and then all 4 games on Saturday, and then Sunday too. Will be if needed. Really, I was trying to see what the pitching matchups would look like here, but they don't have them listed yet. But anyway, I like the Guardians. I mean, when you stumble into the playoffs like they are right now, I'll take the Guardians and probably a sweep here. I think the Guardians will come out and win these two games, get it done, and then get ready for. I think they're going to play. They would play. I'm not too sure who they play, actually, to be honest. Let's look here. Yeah, I don't. They'll either play the Yankees. I think they play the Yankees. Yeah, they would play the Yankees. And then you look at the next series here, Blue Jays and the Mariners. Man, this is tough because I had like the Blue Jays like winning that American League East and going on a run. But I've also rooting for the Mariners here. They get into the playoffs for the first time in 20 years. But again, all these games will be played in Canada. I'm kind of looking to kind of see who's been hotter. I mean, Toronto's been 7-3 on a 4-game winning streak, so they are playing hot. You look at the Mariners here, 6-4 in their last 10. So, and they've been both fighting to get into this wild card spot. I think this series goes to 3 games. And I'm gonna hedge my original season pick. I think I might even have the Blue Jays in the World Series, or at least making it to the American League ALCS. So as much as I might be rooting, I like both teams. I really do. Both teams are good and young. Mariners are probably just a step ahead of where they needed to be in their full rebuild process here. So I'm going to stick with the Blue Jays one more time in 3 games. So I think it goes the full 3 games. Give me the Blue Jays. And then we get to the National League here. Phillies at the Cardinals. You guys, I mean, I hate the Cardinals, but I mean, everything they've done right, they've done it right. Like, I mean, if you missed it on Sunday, Pujols, Waino, and Yachty all walk off the field together for the last time. I keep saying, watch out for the Cardinals in the postseason. The Cardinals get it done here. I'm just still high on the Phillies. Kudos to the Phillies, though. I thought they should have sold at the trade deadline. They didn't. But I think it's going to be a clean sweep here for the Cardinals. They'll win these 2 games and get ready for the next round. I like their pitching. The Cardinals just do all the small things right. They always have. They're great organization ran. I'm saying all the right things for a person that hates the Cardinals. So, if you're the Braves and the Dodgers, the Cardinals got to scare you because they have all that experience. I'm not saying those 2 teams don't. Obviously, they've been to the World Series more recently than the Cardinals have. It's just somehow the luck of the Cardinals, man. It's just who they are. But I'm going to take the Cardinals here to beat the Phillies. I mean, kind of looking at the last, stretch here. Cardinals are 5-5 for their last 10. I mean, 93 wins. You look at the Phillies. I mean, the Phillies had 100 wins, but the Phillies had everything to play for last week against the Braves to clinch the division to get that first round bye, and they couldn't do it. I mean, the Braves, they went into Atlanta, and DeGrom and Scherzer couldn't get it. Oh, I'm talking about that's the Mets. Jesus, not the Phillies. I was looking at the Mets logo. I'm all over the place. Anyway, look at the Phillies. Kudos to them. They fire their manager, and they get in. They were 87-74. Their last 10, though, 4-6 in the last 10. So they've been kind of on the schneid here. I'm taking the Cardinals again in the sweep. Now we get into the Mets, right? Padres at the Mets. Now the Padres got to go all the way across the Mets. Remember, the Padres made this all the trades, made the big trade for Juan Soto and Bell at the deadline. No, still no Manny, or not. They still got Manny Machado. No Tatis. This series I've gone back and forth because I like both pitching staffs. The Mets are going to bring DeGrom and Scherzer. But the Padres, it's not like they're not counter. It's not like they can't counter with their own 2 studs here. They're countering with Yu Darvish and Blake Snell, who's been absolutely stud the last month. Both pitchers have. I just thought I'm a little disappointed in the Padres because of all the hype that they had. I mean, they did finish 89-72. Their last 10, they're 6-4. You look at the Braves. I was getting confused with because I was looking at the Braves, but they went 161. The Mets did. I mean, like I said last week, though, they had everything to play for. I know that game was in Atlanta, and this series will be in New York. So I'm going to say it goes the full 3. I think the Padres will split one of the two with DeGrom and Scherzer there, and give me the home team. Give me the home team there in this first round in 3 games. So I'll take the Mets. So again, to clear everything up here, I got the Indians, not the Guardians. Sorry, the Guardians. I got the Blue Jays. I got the Cards, and I got the Mets. Really, I guess I just took all the home teams. We'll see what happens, man. Playoff baseball is about great pitching and timely hitting, but more about great pitching. Great pitching gets it done in the postseason, folks. You got to have a really good and a great bullpen get you through. So, hey, we'll see what happens here. MMA in the MMA world here. We got there was one fight that really, Mackenzie Dern lost on Saturday. I had her winning. Good for Jan, who had not won in like over a year off layoff, a 2-fight losing streak. So it's been a while for her. But man, Mackenzie Dern's taking that loss hard. She was going to be, I thought she won. She was going to be 1 fight away from the title. Now she's back to being about 2 wins, maybe 3 wins from a title fight. So she's just got to string some together there. For Mackenzie Dern, who I really like. But tough loss for Mackenzie Dern. No fights this Saturday. Hopefully this Sunday. I did a solo pod last Sunday for our Head Kicks and Haymakers just to kind of catch up everybody on the MMA world. Phew. Phew. So that pretty much wraps up the week, man. Nice little college basketball, nice weekend. It's the last weekend for soccer, so I'll finally be able to sit down next weekend and watch a little college football. Baseball season. Man, it sucks for baseball because they got their best series, and you're just gonna have to flip between a lot of sports this weekend. Really, no UFC. So, but Friday, watching a lot of baseball this weekend. Hopefully, starting Friday. I'm excited to see all 4 of those games. I'll probably put the old baseball games at work on my phone. And we'll see what happens, man. I'm excited. It's one of the best times. Technically all 4 major sports about to be going off. We already in the quarter way through football season. Maybe next week what we'll do since we don't do it we'll give the old Bodkins football power rankings next week because we'll be a quarter way through the NFL season at that point. And then we will you got the NFL still going. You got baseball wrapping up. NBA, even though I just talked a bunch of shit. And then you got hockey season also to start coming up. So, hey, a lot of stuff getting ready to happen here. I'm excited. It's a good fall is always busy time. So, hey, y'all have a blessed of the week. You guys know what to do. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Alan Paralysis chiming in here. Great time to be a sports fan. Absolutely. Hey, good time to be a Cowboys fan. Cowboys continue to roll out. Alan, we'll talk a little bit more about that tonight. Cowboys and Cooper Rush. Doesn't look like any Dak Prescott going to happen this week. Looks like maybe one more week here for Dak. So, but you guys know the business. Be a friend, tell a friend, share with a friend. Hit that subscribe button. We're on Apple Podcast and Spotify. So please head over there. Give us a nice little 5-star rating. Hit the subscribe button over there. I do recommend Spotify over Apple Podcasts. And the only reason I recommend that is because I feel like we're more of a visual show, and the Spotify, you can see us. So especially our Sunday night shows and our Wednesday night shows, more than where Apple, you just get to listen to us talk. So, hey, But appreciate it. I appreciate everybody always tuning in, giving the support. Thank you. You guys have a blessed rest of the week. We'll see you tonight, 8:30 Central for our NFL Week 5 reaction, our NFL Week 5 preview show. The K&K boys will have some fantasy news. I'm hoping Kenny's back. We'll see how he's doing. Craig should be around. We'll get some fantasy focus. We got a special guest coming in. So tune in tonight, 8:30 Central. Again, hit that nice little bell at the top of the old YouTube so you guys know when we're going live. You get that notification. But be a friend, tell a friend, hit the subscribe button. I'm hitting that outro, baby. You guys have a good day. We'll see you tonight, 8:30 Central for our NFL Week 5 preview.